Hello, everyone. This is Mike Cerrito, and
Tina Shiver.
with Transcending to Your Best Life podcast. And today, Tina has a special topic for you about the holidays. Tina, what are you going to talk about today?
'Tis the season to be jolly,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
I mean, it is the season.
it
I
is.
guess Thanksgiving is this week.
Is it really?
I know.
I wonder if I have patience schedule. I probably do.
Have you prepared anything for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. It's like going to war in our house.
That's great.
We
That's
need the Naval Logistics Center to help us.
so you've got a nice crowd coming up.
Yeah, yeah. How about you?
Good. Yeah, there's going to be, I think, 12 or 13 of us.
Oh, wow, good.
Should be fun. But
Someone told me they're having 50.
But I heard 46 from
Oh,
another client.
wow.
But we're having fresh market cater.
Oh, that's smart.
I know. I can't believe first time I've not had to cook.
That's smart.
I know.
Are you going to make one meal that is like your signature dish that everyone
No.
waits for?
No,
No, good.
no. It's whatever my brother and sister-in-law have picked out. And they do a great job with that.
Oh, they do.
Oh,
Good.
yeah. Well, they're also very good cooks, but yes, they do
Okay,
a good
good.
job.
Good.
So, with the holiday season upon us, I'm reminded of the lyric, right? 'Tis the season to be jolly,
Mhm.
which symbolizes being happy or eat, drink, and be merry. When you
Yeah, that's the goal, isn't it?
right? Yeah. And think about it. This is post-COVID. So again, it opens up the door for people to be even merrier,
Yes.
right? So the start of the holiday season begins now. It actually probably began the 1st of November, right after Halloween or right during Halloween, which is a reminder that we have a choice to make.
Oh, no, not another choice.
Will we eat? Will we drink and be merry by overindulging with sugar, fat, and salt?
That is an important question.
Right? What do you think of when I say that?
I think that you're going to take away all the fun.
No, of course not. Or will we choose to be more mindful about our food and drink choices when getting together with family and friends?
Okay, I can live with that one.
So there's goes back to our last podcast on balance,
Right.
right? So it's always up to us. I always hear people come in and they're like, "But my spouse made me do this," I heard it today. I heard it today from somebody that both of you and I know who said, "But he buys chocolate for me all the time. So therefore I must eat it."
Don't want to disappoint.
Don't want to disappoint. So it's always up to us. Statistics, Mike, predict that the average person is going to gain, how many pounds do you think this year?
4.
8 pounds this year.
Oh,
Last year it was 7. Every year they're predicting we're adding 1 more pound.
why does it accumulate like that?
That's a really good question. Statistics. Probably, I don't know, maybe people, I don't know. I don't have the answer. It's a great question. I'll do a little research on that.
No, you don't have to if you don't want.
So this year, they're expected to gain 8 pounds. Last year it was 7. We start the holiday out with good intentions, meaning we really want this holiday season to be different, right? So we want to make better food choices. We definitely want to have an exercise program, and we want to be more mindful. However, how many times over the years have we thought we could make better choices just to be pulled into that Christmas party or the friend's holiday cocktail party and overindulged with sugar, fat, and salt?
So here's what happens to me. I go, let's say it starts with Thanksgiving. I overeat at Thanksgiving and everything tastes good. And I say, oh, that's it. I'm going to control myself the rest of the holiday season. But then if I overeat again, I'm like, oh, the hell with it.
Right.
I'm just going to enjoy it for like a month because there's food literally everywhere.
Right.
So I'm going to enjoy it for a month and I'll pick up things in January. So it's like, if I start out, I end up in the same place I started out. It just all builds on itself like momentum.
Well, you planted the seed. So did you? So think about this. I always ask my clients this: do they plant the seed? So you usually know that when they're sitting there talking about, okay, we're going to have this for Thanksgiving, and we're going to have pumpkin pie, and we're going to have chocolate. And I look at them, I'm like, you've already planted the seed. Like you're already indulging in it.
Right.
Do you hear yourself? Right?
Right.
Like, let's turn that around a little bit. Of course, you're going to have pumpkin pie or chocolate pie, but do you want to have a slice every day to finish the pie? Right? Because that's what we do
Oh, so it's not just the meal, it's the leftovers too for days.
for days. Yes. And most people aren't going to throw it away. They're not going to
No,
get rid of it.
no.
Now, some people that I talk to will say, I'll send it home with the guest or I'll send it home with my kids or
Right.
I can get rid of it that way. But most people cook way too much, which is
Yes.
fine. It's all
Yes.
in the social connection as well. So if we are consuming more sugar, right, unhealthy fats or sodium or processed foods, then believe it or not, we can count on it affecting our immune system over time and also possibly inflaming us.
What is inflaming?
So think about inflaming as being, oh, it's a good question. So it creates a cascade effect in your system. So inflammation means that if I eat a ton of sugar every day, then more than likely it's going to affect my blood sugar.
Hmm.
Now, I don't have high blood sugar, but I could if I probably ate sugar and overindulged in it every day. It would eventually go up and I would over secrete insulin, which in turn would inflame my body.
Oh, I
Does
get
that
you.
make sense?
Yes.
Or if I ate a ton of salt every day and that affected my blood pressure, or if I was stressed every day, that affected my blood pressure, then that's going to affect my artery wall, which in turn is going to inflame it. So it's not only the cholesterol, it's also the salt
Yes.
that can affect my
That's
heart.
helpful. That's helpful.
So after consuming sugar, fat, and sodium for about 3 months, it's pretty tough to decrease it. If you think about it, you just said your scenario was, and you kind of got excited about this when you were talking about
Well,
it.
you're right.
You did.
Just thinking of food health is
You
exciting.
talked about the exciting Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna overindulge. And you already planted the seed. I'm gonna
Oh,
overindulge in
no.
Thanksgiving.
You mean I'm mindlessly eating?
You're already mindless. Yes, you're already mindlessly eating. But think about that. That expands your stomach, and you get into that whole habitual routine of I gotta have my fix or my
Yeah.
sugar, sodium, or fat. If I don't, just can't make it through the day,
Yes.
right? And from your, from for the people that you work with on a day-to-day basis, as far as behavioral, on a behavioral piece as well as other emotional, that think about it, it all of a sudden becomes a behavioral change. And it also more than likely affects your emotions because if I'm feeling sad that day, oh, yeah, that sugar kind of made me feel better.
Yes, there was a client you recently worked with that we have in common. And when he told me he wanted to even out his energy throughout the day, so he didn't have to take his ADHD medicine, he's under a lot of pressure and he was eating more for gratification.
Right.
And he said he feels a very positive effect, more even energy throughout the day after meeting with you.
Right. So that's the other interesting thing about Thanksgiving. I want you to think about this. Everybody's like, oh, it's the tryptophan in the turkey. No, it's not. It's the sugar you've been eating all day that's making your blood sugar crash. It makes you sleepy or the overeating. It's tryptophan gets a bad rap.
Yeah, think about it. It's not only the meal, but like we're having people over for breakfast too. And breakfast is like a sugar
So
pumped high.
I try to get what? I try to get people to eat a healthy breakfast. They're going to eat at 2 o'clock, healthy breakfast, healthy veggie snacks, and then eat Thanksgiving, and then have your 2 o'clock.
No waffles or, okay, syrup, no maple
Well,
syrup,
maybe Thanksgiving, right? So there's the mindfulness. So
right?
Thanksgiving's a day when you're going to indulge.
Well, here's the thing, I would be going from meal to meal, trying to make a bargain with myself, but what's in front of me, I have to pick and choose wisely.
Correct. I mean, that's your best scenario.
Yeah,
That if you're mindful, and if you plan ahead of time, then
yeah,
there aren't really on any excuses to not be
right,
mindful.
right,
And how many people feel bad the week later if they're still having
yeah,
all of that food?
yeah.
You got to eventually feel it, right?
What's the way people need to pay most attention to be mindful of what they're eating during the holidays?
I mean, ugh, what's a way for a person to be mindful?
One is a plan, like you mentioned.
Well, a plan, incorporating more fruits and vegetables as well, so that you get the sweet from the fruit. So it
Mm,
replaces finding other healthier, I don't want to use the word desserts, but healthier choices for snacks that are not pie related or cookie related. So I see these people come in and they're like, well, I had 5 cookies every day because somebody gave them to me. Of course I've got to eat them. And I'm like, 5 cookies a day? How about an apple? Or otherwise, then you're going to the store and you're buying more cookies, right?
right.
So that would be another one. And then I think really looking at your week and saying, this is my week. I've got 3 parties to go to. Well, do you really want to go to all 3? It's fine. If you love to entertain and connect, great. But if they're going to wear you out and you're going to overindulge, maybe you should just go to one.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, get your opinion about this. So people in the neighborhood all have like their specialty dessert.
Right.
It could be peanut brittle that they cook every year during Christmas. And then all of a sudden, like in a 2 week period, you get a lot of drop offs, right? So you come home and it's like, what's the next drop off? And it's good drop off, right? And then you take a piece, you say, oh, I'm just gonna have one piece, and then it's sitting out there. And then within a week, it's even like it's like parachuting dessert into your home throughout the week. So one idea I had is out of sight, out of mind. Take one piece, savor that piece, and put that, either give it away or put it out of sight where I just don't see it all the time.
So you mean keep it?
Should I give it away? Oh
Yes.
no,
The
you're
reason
asking for real
I'm
discipline.
going to ask you a question. If you hide it, you know where you hid it. Mike,
Wait, I'll ask Peggy to hide
then that's better.
it.
If you're okay with it, I'm sure she'd do. Yeah, she has to hide it. You can't hide it.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
That's a great try. Great try. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, all
But I
right.
like that idea. Yes, that's fine. That's mindfulness. That's definitely paying attention to, okay, there are a lot of overindulgences in the neighborhood. So therefore, I'm going to take the one that I like the best and indulge in it a little bit and then put the rest away or give away, depending on what I choose.
Or maybe I'll re-gift it. I'll take a piece, tie it up, bring it to the neighbor right to my left, say
That's
happy
great.
holiday. You think?
I love that idea.
Oh.
Move it on.
But then they're going to invite me over for like a
You could just,
chocolate.
but can you say no? Thank you, though, anyway?
Oh, you want me to have this? You want me to say no?
And it depends on what you've had to eat that day.
Yeah. Or what I planned and then actually got to eat.
Or yes, it's all about, that's right.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up with I'm not going to make this elaborate. I'm just going to think, what am I going to do with the parachuting in sweets? Because they just keep coming. Okay. So I'm going to have a plan for that. Then I'm going to be very specific around what do I want to eat that is balanced for each meal, but still I'll enjoy it.
Love it.
And then dessert, just one dessert.
At night, every night, or just
No, just for that meal.
for that meal? That's great. I like
See,
it.
now you got the every night in my head.
Well, no, but wait a
So
minute.
now I want it every night.
I mentioned that because you got to think about it. It's supposed to be a dessert, a treat for occasional use or indulgence, not every night.
No, I'm thinking just on that day.
Like it. I like it. It's a great.
And then give my kids all the leftovers,
If
other
they're
than maybe some turkey, which we'll keep.
the only thing I will say about that, as long as they're okay with that, you
You mean we
really
can't guilt them?
no,
Uh,
it's not a good idea. It doesn't play out well for
I'm
them
just passing the
because then
bag
they're going to
eating
take it home and throw
over
it
to
in.
them.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to throw it in the trash. That generation's going to say bye bye.
Or with my sons, it's gonna sit in the refrigerator till it molds.
Molds.
Right.
And then, yeah, that's not good. So if you go to so here's some tips, right? If you go to a party and you know that you might overindulge, that you really want to be careful. Well, let me back that up. When you go to a party, where are people usually gathering? What's
Oh,
the
around
first
the
thing you
food. Oh, my
it's
God.
packed.
Right.
So when you go to a party, the first thing you do is get out of that room. Stay out of that room until the crowd's passed, right? Go in a smaller plate, get a little bit of everything, and then walk out of the room. Don't stand there.
I love the smaller plate idea.
Oh, yeah. It'll work if they have them available, right?
Yeah.
And they usually do, or a napkin
A
that
napkin,
you can put
right.
a few things on. But the key is to get out of that room. Don't
Yes.
stay in that room, or otherwise, there goes the mindless eating.
Yes. Because you're gonna, while you're talking to people around the food, you're gonna be picking.
Yes. What about alcohol? So, if first of all, if you have to drive, then you probably aren't, hopefully not having
Right.
alcohol. But and that's another thought, you could be the designated driver. But if you want to have a cocktail, which is fine, then have one cocktail. Or, if you know that you will overindulge, try to have club soda or something in between that alcohol so that you don't overdo it.
So I don't drink but alcohol, but what I tell people is if you are gonna drink, then alternate between your drink and water to fill yourself up.
I like it. I like that a lot. The other one is if you're going to somebody's for Thanksgiving, or if you're having, let's say you're going to somebody's for Thanksgiving, and you know that they usually have the traditional, take a big salad or take a vegetable platter. Ask them if it's okay if you bring one. They might have one, but if they don't, just put it out there. Do you mind if I bring a big salad? Or because I used to do that with my brother and sister-in-law.
Oh, you did?
I'd bring a huge salad. I plan ahead, and they always have turkey or roast beef
Yeah.
or whatever. And I'd have the lots of good protein, big salad, whatever veggies they have, and then I'd have a little bit of dessert. But I wouldn't eat all the desserts because I wouldn't start with that. I always have to plan ahead.
I love that. And don't shy away from bringing food there.
Or asking,
Yeah.
right? Like, what's it going to look like? What are you going to? Some people are really afraid to do that, and
Yeah.
I'm not clear why, but I think they think it's imposing,
Right.
I
Right.
guess. But I think that it's a good idea to just kind of get a feel for what's going to be offered.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Very
wrong
good.
with that.
Very
It's taking
nice.
care of yourself.
Which
Good.
is mindful.
Which is mindful.
And
Yes.
that really is the basis of mindfulness. It's self-care.
Yes.
So being aware and conscious of what's right in front of us, and then what our needs are, our intentions are. It's just being able to live in that moment, which we all find it hard to do because humans were meant to reflect back and imagine forward, which gives us the ability to create wonders of the world, but it also creates guilt and shame and regret and so on. But with the holidays, if you stay present with intention, having an intention when you go somewhere, around what you're going to put into your body, that your body can prosper from versus suffer from inflammation for days.
Mm, I like it. Yeah. And you can still stick with your tradition,
Right.
but be mindful about the tradition and
Yeah.
what's to offer. So good. Yay.
Okay, good. That was wonderful.
So that was a great, yeah.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please remember to subscribe you'll see the button below. And next time, we're going to be talking about the absolute best questions you can ask when dating someone to find out what that person is really like. Until next time, Mike Cerrito,
Tina Shiver.
transcending to your best life. Take care.
Take care.